Hi, everyone. So, welcome to week 5. It's pretty exciting. So, you have started working on the job project and got some things turned in. And so, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about the correspondence project, which I got graded, and I'm really sorry I was late on that. And we're going to talk about what's due next week. So, that's what's up for tonight's video. Let me go ahead and 1 second. And let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Okay. So we're here at week 5. Um, so the first thing I want to make sure that you do is I want to make sure that you understand that. So I graded the correspondence projects. There's 2 places that you have comments. One is in the little box on the side, and the other is on the project itself. So I spent a lot of time making sure that I made enough comments so that you could revise it. So first, view. Be sure and view the comments I made on your assignment, not just the ones in the box. And if you have any questions at all, please email me. But look for comments in both those places. Excuse me. The second thing you can do is you can revise the assignment. Revisions can be turned in anytime before the end of the term. So if you kind of want to wait and see what your grade does over the term, you can see if you need to revise this, or you can go ahead and revise it now, whatever you want to do. It all works for me. And if you have any questions about how to revise it, please let me know. You can message me in team, or you can email me. We can set up a Zoom call, all sorts of things. But you guys, overall, you guys did really well. You did a really good job. So view the assignment, view the comments, and the two places comments next to it and on the assignment itself. Revise it and turn it in before the end of the term. Or you can not revise it and hang on to the grade you have. So that's the correspondence project. So last week, you guys did What Do Employers Want, which is a little, just a little, kind of like a little journaling exercise to sort of get some thoughts going on. You found a job or internship to apply to. You did an employment history where you started listing your jobs, and you did a summary statement. So what's going to happen this week is I will have you graded at Thursday at the latest. Promise. I just had some things happen last week that were that kind of set me behind, but I will have them graded at Thursday by the latest. So you really need to look at the comments on this before you finish your before you do your rough draft resume. So you want to look at my comments before you turn in your assignments for next week. First, you want to make sure that the job or internship listing is approved. So I'm going to write that on the assignment that you turned in. I will say that it's approved or not approved. Your employment history, I'm going to make comments on your rough draft. I want you to incorporate those comments in your resume rough draft. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a lower grade on your resume rough draft, and I'm going to tell you to look back at this. So please make sure and look at the comments on the employment history. The comments I make both at the side and on the assignment itself. And the summary statement as well. I'm going to make some comments there. I'm going to try to help you guys really polish this up. But look at these comments and incorporate them into your rough draft resume. Got that? Okay. So that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen for the things that you just turned in. So this week, due next Sunday, first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at the resume requirements. We're going to talk about that again in a minute. You want to read about resumes in your text. You're not doing a functional resume, so keep that in mind. You're doing a chronological resume, so when you read the chapter, keep that in mind. There are resume examples in the text under examples, cases, models, and in that index. We're going to do the Ferguson Career Guidance Center exercise, and I'm going to walk you through that. And then you're also going to complete your resume rough draft. So those are 5 things. 5 things for this week. Okay, so really super quick overview of the job project. You're going to turn in 3 things for the job project: the job listing, the cover letter, and a resume. And all of them must meet all the requirements. And the cover letter and resume need to be turned in PDF format. And you're going to turn them in PDF because remember, if you put it in PDF, it's not going to change when I open it. So you're going to want to turn all of your cover letters and resumes in when you turn into a job. You always want to do it in PDF. That way the formatting stays the same. So the cover letter, you're going to use block letter format. You're going to have separate paragraphs. You're going to have 4 paragraphs. And I've outlined what goes in each one of them. Now, I know this is pretty prescriptive, in some ways. Like, it's kind of formulaic, but this is the best way for you to get a cover letter that meets all that really works. Though for your cover letters that you do for jobs you're going to apply for, you might want to change it up a little bit. But for this assignment, I want them to follow this strictly. First paragraph, you're going to ask for the job by name and identify how you learned about it. Second, you're going to outline your work experience. Third, your education. And the fourth, you're going to ask for the interview. Your letter should not exceed 1 page. Simple language. We're going to go over this again next week, because it's going to be due next week. This week, you have the resume due. The resume must include a summary statement. Do not include an objective. Include a summary statement. You're going to have a skills section, which are the things that you do well. You're going to have your work experience in chronological order and your education in chronological order. Okay. And I'm going to go over those that you guys have already done. Okay. We are going to look at the Ferguson Career Guidance Center. This is going to be your exercise. Let me see. This is actually exercise 5.1. Sorry about that. Let me let me exit that really quick. This is 5.1. Numbers. Not doing so well with numbers today. Okay. Okay. So just a little bit about the Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. So this is something that you can access to the CNM library. There are a lot of databases you can use for research. This one is really good for career exploration. So I'm going to show you how we're going to get there. Okay. So if you start here, you're going to go to CNM, and you're going to go to resources and services, and you're going to go to libraries. I'm also going to post this PowerPoint. So, there is a PowerPoint that explains this, and that's listed under the job project resources. So if you need a little help, that's the place to look for that. Okay, make sure I do this right. Okay, so you're going to go to libraries, and then you're going to come down here and see where it says databases. So you're going to click on that, and this opens it up to here. And then you're going to click on F for Ferguson. Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. Okay. And then you're going to put in your credentials, your username and password to log into the library, because we're all, remote. And you got to put the right one in. Yay. Okay. Awesome. Let me update my password there. Okay. So here we are in the the Ferguson Career Guidance Center. So you're going to look up, you're going to explore careers. You're going to, this first piece right here. And we're going to go ahead and in the search box, you're going to put the kind of job you're applying for. So let's say you're applying to be a server. So you're going to put server. Probably not a process server. We're looking at like a server, casinos and hotels. You're looking at hospitality. And let me see. I might put server, restaurant. See what else. Food service workers. So that's what I'm going to open up here. Okay. So then you're going to come to a page like this. So you might have to put in a few different search terms to find what you're looking for. But you're going to be under browse professions. So you're looking for your profession. Um, so you found here, you've got an overview, which is sort of kind of always sort of interesting to read. And there's the median salary, high school level, subjects that you would have studied, some alternative titles. These are alternative jobs that go under food service workers, and kind of work environment, best geographic locations, experience, and the outlook, some of the duties, and the personality traits and skills. So these are the two that you're really looking for, personality traits and skills. So I'm going to want you to copy this, and let me get to, okay. You're going to copy this. You're going to open a Word document and you're going to copy this down here. And so this assignment is just going to be like another written assignment, like it was for looking at those traits like honesty and eager to learn, that kind of thing. So I'm going to want you to set a timer for 8 minutes and do a little free write exploring these ideas. Do you think you have some of these traits? And if you do, how do you show them? So the thing about these traits they're listed in Ferguson's, the personality traits and the skills, is these are skills that you're going to want to mention on your resume. So especially the skills, when you have a list of skills, if you have these 3 skills, then you should list them. A lot of times when looking for employees, very large companies, actually a human doesn't even really see your resume. For a while, it's seen by a machine first, and the machine is looking for certain keywords. And a lot of times those keywords can be found in databases like the Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. If you have that word in your resume, you are more likely to get picked to be interviewed. Okay, so what I want you to do is take those, put them on a piece of paper, and this is for 5.1 for exercise 5.1. You're going to do a little 8-minute free write, just about, like what experience have you had being hands-on or helpful or outgoing? And what experience do you have of interpersonal skills? And how do you show that? How do you show your mechanical or manual dexterity? How do you show that you're organized? So you can kind of look at these pieces. So let's do a search for another common job that people apply for. Let's look at construction worker. Let's look at laborers. So their personality traits: athletic, hands-on, technical, building and trades, math, mechanical, manual dexterity again. See how these are all going to be changing differently for different careers. Let's look up a teacher. Let's look up. I haven't done this, so we'll see. Let's see what it's. College professors. Let's see what the traits are. Helpful, organized, outgoing, public speaking, research, and teaching. All of these are super important. And so, if I were going to apply for the job for kind of like what I'm doing now, I would highlight these pieces. So you see how that works? So you're definitely gonna want to look at this anytime you apply for a job. And if you're still a student of CNM, you can have access to this database. It has lots of great information. So, and you can let's go back to server. You can view the full article here. gives the history, the job, what it's about, earnings, work environment, exploring this job, education and training. So if there's a career you're interested in doing, like let's say you want to be like whenever you finally kind of graduate at the very end of things, you want to be a civil engineer. And let's say you kind of want to think about that. Might want to look here, see what the median salary is, see what the duties are, the personality traits. Do you fit that? You can kind of look at this article, kind of look at the history of it, what the work environment is like. Is this the kind of work environment you want? How you can explore that job with looking at summer internships, education and training, certifications, employment prospects. So it's pretty interesting. So there's a lot of information here that you can look at to help find work. Sorry, change that number there. Okay, let me go ahead and share. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. So that you're going to do the Ferguson's little writing piece. And the second thing you do is your resume rough draft. And you're going to look and make sure you have all the pieces, identifying information, that's like your contact information and stuff like that at the top, summary statement, skills, employment history, and education. So one thing you can do is you can use MS Word templates to create a resume. So let me go oops, let me go back over here and let me go into our class really quick. Into the job project resources. That's where I'm at. Okay, here we are in the job project resources. Here's some example. I have 2 example resumes here for you. So this is one. This person used a template. You can see if you do not have a lot of job experience, so she has only 3 jobs here. It fills it out really nicely. The templates can be very pretty. You put all of your contact information up here. The summary statement is here, your skills here, and then you have your job experience here and your education here. It really helps it lays it out nicely. And let's look at the other one. So you might want to look at both of these examples. This is another template that she used. So you have your summary statement here, skills and abilities. There's the work experience and education. So this is really what we're looking for, is something like this. And to use the template, you go to Word, and here in the search bar, you can just let me see. Oh, there we go. Go to New first. Sorry. And then hit Resume in the search bar. And it'll give you a lot of different templates here. You'll recognize this one is the one that we looked at. This is also a nice one right here, this modern chronological one. The resume, not the cover letter, the resume. I don't suggest that you do your cover letter just on plain paper, but do your resume if you want to use it with a template. I don't really like this one personally. Never put your photograph on a resume, by the way. This one is nice, this columns one. A lot of students have used that. This one is also a good one. I've had students use this one, this minimalist one, pretty successfully. So there are just a number here to kind of look through. And on this one, I've seen a student use this one really well too. So you might look at just a few of these and see which ones appeal to you. But don't pick one that asks you to put your picture on it, because that is just you just don't do that anymore. And so But that's how you do it. And you see, you just click on the template like this. And you kind of, and then fill it in. So you want to make sure you fill in all the pieces of the template. You want to fill all of these pieces in. You want to fill, instead of objective, remember you're going to put summary statements. So here you can just put summary. Remember, so you're going to change some of the pieces of the template too. So you can do that and work with it. Sometimes templates can be a little frustrating because, well, if they don't really do what you want them to do. Sometimes I start out with a template and then I just do it in Word. It kind of depends on your, your level of expertise with that. Okay. So that gives us some ideas here about how to use the template. And there's some slides, some slides about building your resume. But let me go ahead and show you a couple here. So if you've only have 1 or 2 jobs, you might try one of these: basic modern, bold monogram, polished resume, minimalist resume, or columns resume. You could try one of those if you've only had 1 or 2 jobs. If you've had 3 or more jobs, you can look at the templates and then format your own in MS Word. So that's sort of how that can work for you. So no matter what the template says, do you remember that template said objective and we replace it with summary? So no matter what the template says, use a summary, not an objective. Include a skills section. And remember from that list of Ferguson, you can use some of those as your skills as well, and then add in more. You want an employment section, an education section, and you can use a projected graduation date. You can say projected graduation date for the date you want. It's kind of nice to do that. Okay, so just a couple little notes on the employment section. There is no need to list the address, just the city. Just the city and state. And sometimes people just do the state, but at least the city and at least the state. But you can do city and state. You don't need to add the address or zip code or anything. Never list the amount of money you were paid for a job. If you're doing a different kind of resume, a functional resume for the government, you do, but not with the sort of regular private industry ones that we're doing. And you want to look at the resume examples. Remember, there's 2 examples in there that you can choose from and take a peek. Okay, I think I forgot to. I think I forgot to share this with you guys. Okay, so let me go back here really quick. If you've had 1 or 2 jobs, you can use the basic modern resume, the bold monogram, polished resume, minimalist resume, columns. Those are the ones I suggest if you've had 1 or 2 jobs. Had 3 or more jobs, I suggest formatting on your own. But you can kind of try with the template, see how that goes. No matter what, you're going to have a summary, not an objective. You're going to have a skills section, an employment section, education section. You're going to have the city and state, or just the state for each job that you've had. Never list the amount of money you were paid, and look at those examples for help. So when you finish your resume, you're going to save it as a PDF. Remember that, and you're going to upload it to 5.2 resume rough draft. Okay, so that's this week. That's what's going to be due for this Sunday. So excuse me. Next week. So next week, it's not week 4, it's week 6. Oh my gosh, guys. Sorry. I'm just numbers. They're really hard for me right now. Okay, let me change that out for you. Okay, go back. Share that again. Okay, looking ahead to week 6, that's next week. We're going to work on the cover letter. So next week's video is going to be all about the cover letter and how that works and using block letter style and all of that. So this week is finishing up your resume, and you've already done those pieces. And then I'm going to give you comments on those pieces you've turned in. So you should be really, and you're going to do the Ferguson thing, which is going to give you some skills. So you should really be prepared to put a very good resume together. And then we'll move on to the cover letter next week. So one thing to kind of keep in mind, I know it's kind of getting darker in here, isn't it? It's like I think I might have to turn on more lights next time I do this. Hang on one second. That's a little better. It's a little lighter. So a couple things to keep in mind as you're doing your resume. So look and see what the job calls for. We're going to look at this later. The very last week we do the resumes, we're going to look at this, but try looking again at the job description and see what the job calls for and see how you can get your resume to match that job description. Because what you want to look like is you want to show them that you match their expectations of who they're looking for. Remember, it's not showing them that the job is good for you. It's showing them that you're good for this job. And so really working on that connection between these are the skills they're looking for. Never lie. Don't tell them you have a skill you don't have. But the skills that they are looking for that you have, make sure that you show how you have them. Make sure you show where you got them, what jobs you did that had those skills. You probably have more skills than you realize. Most of us underestimate ourselves, and we don't, we don't always take our skills seriously. So be sure and look at the jobs, even jobs that you think weren't really professional jobs or weren't really high skilled jobs. Still look at those jobs and think about the things that you learned from it. Interpersonal skills, customer service, patience, organization, all of those pieces. And list those in your skills. And then when you talk about your employment, list some of those too. So be sure to look back at the job listing and see what they're asking for. And then weave that into the resume. Okay. I think that's it for this week. And so have a good week. And if you have any questions, always email me or chat me up on Teams. And we'll see you next Monday. Okay.